Welcome guys. We're going to talk about the movie Inception today a little bit. Then we're going to talk about the idea of Inception being used by your right hemisphere on your left hemisphere. Very interesting stuff. First, let's talk about kind of the irony of the film. Humans communicate with pheromones, molecules, electricity. Your dead American scientist would say we don't have a receptor, so we can make pheromones, but we can't receive them. The reason why that would be at all important is there are animals who have sending units and receiving units specifically for communication with pheromones. However, living humans know that we're receiving the pheromones with our skin and smell and taste. We're receiving that communication. A dead scientist hasn't received that communication, and so he's not going to acknowledge it. He's going to say, hey, that's just not happening. We're a living human being that when they smell the opposite sex, when they smell their pair bond, when they smell their wife, a million things explode inside of them. However, if we put a group of females in a room and they are non-verbally they are not verbally communicating. They're not verbally communicating when their cycle is, and they align their cycles, their bodies align their cycles without communicating. That's proof. Dead scientists are going to continue to argue the fact. Living scientists go, hey, we really don't have to look into that. That's just the end of that. When a girl plays with her hair, she's manufacturing pheromones here. There's a cute boy over there. She's playing with her hair. She's sending these amazing pheromones over to him, knowing this is going to blow his mind. Stuff is going to start happening in his mind and in his pants. He's not even going to know what's going on, but he's falling under a spell. It's so beautiful, guys. And I feel awful for the dead people that aren't going to experience that. Young men, the science is going to say, pop culture is going to say that a young man is nervous, so his palms are wet, and that's just stupid. We're not acknowledging. We're a culture of not acknowledging how amazing all of this is. That young man is putting testosterone, as well as a whole bunch of other cool chemicals, into his palm, and if he lays that motherfucker on his date, as she goes past, oh, excuse me, let me help out a little bit. She's going to absorb those chemicals through her nose, her mouth, and her skin, and something crazy is going to happen inside of that young lady. Her mind is going to be blown. She's going to say, hey, what's going on? My heart's racing. Lots of other things are happening. When an evolving person goes into a city, and these people are all dead, non-verbally they have all agreed, hey, we're all going to get in the soil. There's too many people here. The right hemispheres of all of these people, these 60,000 people or 1 million people, have communicated non-verbally and said, hey, we got to get in the soil. So it's going to sound very normal for us to say, excuse me, exercise is so hard. Exercise is almost not possible, not bearable. We're only doing exercise long enough until we can say, "Oh man, I got the injury." You know the healthy identifying people in America. You got 90-some% that are like, "I'm a fat ass. I don't care. I'm not trying to convince myself." But then you do have this small group that's doing it. But then when you say, "Hey, how's that going?" 90% of the time, they're saying, "Oh man, there's injury. I'm recovering from injury." They're in better shape than the rest of the people. It's obvious they're doing something, but the periods of inactivity far outweigh the periods of doing this rigorous cardio. It's a normalized thing in the culture to simply say, health equity is too difficult. Eating healthy, exercising, these things are too difficult. They're all I'm just accepting that that's the definition of humanity, and it's not. And so when I go into a city, I kind of got to keep my mouth shut. People are already going, "Hey, what's going on here?" I can sense something. And so I want to take you to that moment in the movie Inception where the DiCaprio and the gal first go into the dream, and they're manipulating things. He's manipulating things with his mind. And so the people in this dream are sensing that they aren't part of their thing, and they're starting to become aggressive. And so that's what it feels like when you go into a city of people that are in first death and you're evolving. You're just trying to look like them, head down, get her done, and then get the fuck out of there because it feels very much like a sketchy situation. And then, of course, when we go into that situation, our bodies are now being communicated with. The 1 million people, or however many people are in the city, their right hemispheres are saying, "Hey, there's no species energies. We got to get in the soil." So I got to be careful. I'm going to feel super out of pocket in that situation. Excuse me. And then, if I was to stay in the situation, I would eventually become undead. I could grow plants in the middle of the city, but there's only so much that can do when we've got the number of the species super high. I told you guys a little while back, we were doing experiments in the center of Denver, and we were evolving without problem, surrounded by people that had no plants and animals whatsoever and weren't participating in the life cycle. We're participating in the life cycle. We're growing massive amounts in a super tiny property. The house is like 1,800 square feet, but the lot was like 3,000 square feet. This super tiny lot. But we're growing on every level of this 3-level house, and then growing in the yard when the weather permitted. We felt good, but then they started ripping down all the single-family homes, all of the factories, the abandoned factories, the car dealership, and populating that with thousands of families. And we started wigging out, guys. There's a threshold of the species versus the energies. So if you've got a whole bunch of energy that you're growing at your house, but you're surrounded by 1 million zombies, you got to be careful. Your right hemisphere is communicating with them, and they are, more importantly, communicating with you. They're going to affect you. You get your kid out of school, homeschool them, get them in a life cycle, get a bunch of plants and animals growing at your house, get off the antibiotics, but your kid is spending all of his time with kids that have done none of that. You're going to see them change then you're going to see them revert. You're going to see that rebellion again. Living, evolving humans do not rebel. It's what? Mom is what? You guys are amazing. I want to learn how to do what you do. I want protected provider information. When we switch into First Def, the tool we're using is rejecting protector provider information. So what you're being told is a psychological condition of rebellion. That's shit. This is a genetic toolbox to get your kid in the ground. Nobody's doing that in particular to your kid. The right hemisphere is simply making that decision to get your kid in the ground, sensing that there's insufficient species-specific information, species-specific energies, for the number of species. You did that by putting that child in this situation, but you didn't know. The church has kind of bamboozled us for 4,000 years, and then billionaires have figured out a way to just ramp this thing up to get us on maximum consumption levels. Careful, kitty. Cat's chewing on the cord, and I'm thinking about that meme of the cat with the cord exploding in its mouth. Excuse me, guys. The second reference to Inception is, this is the tool that your brain is using. Your brain is this fascinating billion-year-old entity. You have to start over every time you are born. You're born and you don't know anything. You don't know how to use your eyes, your mouth, your hands. You don't know how to speak. It's going to take you 25 years at least until you're going to be considered trained for one thing. If it's a specialized thing, if you're going to go to medical school, you're going to be 30 before you're considered to be trained for one thing. Where the right hemisphere, the second you come out, it knows exactly what the fuck it's doing. It's measuring the environment. It's controlling which parts are growing what. It can literally take a male and make a female. Take a female and make a male. It can control every aspect of your evolution based on the data provided in the habitation. The habitation changes. If your child is spending 2/3 of the day in the home and 1/3 of the day, 8 hours a day in school, 7 hours a day in school, then I'm going to do the math again there. The habitation is the school when they're at the school. They're in a portalet. The portalet is the habitation, the space being measured, but it's a short period of time they're in there. But every space accounts for the evolution. So if you've got your kid in a school and there's 0 species-specific energies, and you're seeing a divergence of larger students and smaller students, and the larger students are picking on people, and the younger students are sort of laying themselves down into that situation, and you're going, hey, avoid them. You stop bullying. You avoid them. Guys, this is Universe 25. We played this out 25 times in a laboratory, but other scientists have copied this, and nobody has ever found any information contrary to this whatsoever. Your child is simply in this Universe 25 situation in the school. We're not going to be able to change that by telling them. There's no such thing as psychology. That shit is a brainwashing, and you need to get over that. That's genetics. Your child either grew big or small, because we've got to eliminate the humans in this area. That school has 0 species-specific energies there. Your kid is trying to get the children together as a unit are getting rid of themselves. This thing never had to wake up. It never had to learn. In the womb, this thing was already alive, making the heartbeat, making decisions on whether or not this would be a male or female, making a decision on what size, what deformity, what diseases. This thing was already alive, with full consciousness and full information, with a Rolodex, a Google of every experience of every human that came before you for 1 billion years at its immediate disposal. Now, the ideas that you have formed, that you think are your ideas, they aren't. This thing has been alive for 1 billion years straight. It was conscious when your mother was an embryo, this big inside of the womb, 100% conscious, 100% capable, making conscientious decisions as to what is going to be the most beneficial evolution, not for the individual, but for the species as well as the nature around it. We're always considering, like, survival is the #1 goal of this spooky half of the brain. And that's the truth. However, it's not the survival of you. It's the survival of the species and everything that we are living symbiotically with. Everything is being considered. This thing is super occupied. You've got thousands of sensors all over your body. You're a one-off species that has a head-to-toe air conditioning system. But if we put half of your body in a hot environment and half of your body in a cold environment, this thing has thousands of sensors, and it's going to take the heated blood from one side and put it on the other on purpose. It's going to transfer the heat and keep you at an even temperature using a one-off, amazing, full-body air conditioning system. That is your evolutionary advantage. That's why us tiny, slow humans are able to conquer things. It's simply being able to outwalk them. That's it. Everybody else has been made for short bursts. They're going to be able to run away real quick. They're going to be able to attack and run away real quick. And this slow-ass human is just going to be able to walk after them. They're going to sprint, but they're covered in hair. They have only one air conditioning source that's panting. They're trying to cool off their entire huge-ass body by just panting through the mouth. And you've got this full-body air conditioning system. And so you can sprint, then you can stop, but you just keep moving no matter what. So this thing sprints away, but then it stops. It's got to locate water. It doesn't have this huge reservoir of liquid and this full body air conditioning system to be able to keep going. It can only maintain these short bursts before it has to recover, and you're able to just go 15 hours straight, 18 hours straight, if necessary, 24, 30 hours straight, and so you're just outlasting this other species. Super cool. It's super cool. The human species is not really great at anything else. However, that one cool thing, it's a very cool experiment in evolution. However, before you were a human, before you were even a gorilla, this thing already had 1 million tools. When the fish or ape or whatever exceeds the number of species energies, when they overpopulate, when they exceed the carrying capacity, we say. And we need to reduce the number of the species in the herd. You're going to start hearing different voices. And you're going to say, hey, this is my idea. The Inception. This thing is so busy doing other shit. Your body, we had females that would come and work in these situations. And we would tell them, hey, I need you to get off of the antibiotics in order to carry out this experiment. So they would spend time working with these things. They would eat foods that were grown in here. The rest of the foods simply had to not have antibiotics, which is, it's not, that's not an easy thing. Food in America, everything's coming from a package, or it's coming from a farm that does not have a human life cycle. So we're looking for, and uses antibiotics. And so we're looking for things that are, if they're not from the farm that's in a life cycle with a human, then we need things that are inert, things that just don't have antibiotics inside of them, which super tough in America. Every package that you open up has antibiotics inside of it. They're killing the microorganisms inside of your body that make everything, happiness, motivation, sex, GLP-1s, Viagra, the liquid inside of your, the spinal liquid inside of your cranium that your brain sits in, that has to be swapped out every single day 100%, or you'll just feel anxious all the time. 341 million Americans are saying, hey, I just feel anxious all the time, but I'm eating antibiotics 3 times a day, 4 times a day, 5 times a day, all day. All of my food is preserved. It has antibiotics inside of it. And for some reason, I feel anxious all of the time. And so, this thing inside of you, in the right hemisphere, it doesn't have a bunch of time. And so it's become very good at inception. It's going to tell you something. Hey, this working out shit is tough. Interestingly, here, I've traveled the country, and regularly traveled the country. I traveled this morning. We went to Puerto Plata. When we go places, we exercise. We're going to go for a big run. We're going to go for a bicycle ride. And the people are literally going to say, hey, look at you, you're tired. Stop doing that. They're going to say, it's better to be done with exercise. And, at first you might be like, hey, motherfucker, mind your goddamn business. I'm trying to enjoy myself here. But if you're a scientist, you're eventually going to stop and say, hey, who gave you that idea? I've heard the idea before. Who gave you the idea? That it's better to be done with exercise. It'd be a better time in the day, at the end of the exercise than before or during. This is this constant anthem that we're hearing wherever we go. Hey, it's better to be done with exercise. At first you're like, I don't know what that means. Then you're like, well, obviously I know what that means. But why are they repeating it? So you're saying, hey, is that something that's in your culture? Is that something that you've heard on a television show? And they're saying, no, that's Dominican culture. That's built in. That's automated. The statement comes out of Dominicans wherever you go. It's better to be done with exercise. If it's the better part of the day is when the exercise is behind you, the easiest way to do that, to accomplish that, is just to not exercise. The exact same as America, these people are saying, oh man, tomorrow, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. Friday night is so annoying for us because we're going to go into zombie land and the zombies are all going to go, oh, there's the guys that work out all the time. Let's annoy the shit out of them by telling them that we're going to go jog a 14er tomorrow. That we're going to go to the gym for the first time tomorrow. And we're going, God damn it, we're just trying to enjoy 45 minutes out of the fucking house, have a little bit of check food, have a little zero carbohydrate, zero preservative beverage, and then get back to the fucking house. We really don't need to hear your fucking drunk slurring, oh, I'm getting it. I know I said it last week, but this is the time. This is the time. I swear it. I swear it. Just every single place we go, people are like, those are the workout people. Let's go annoy the shit out of them. And we're going, here they come again. Want to bet what we're about to hear. Same exact thing. Then we come here, and the zombies are telling us the exact same thing. They're angry, like in the movie Inception. When you jog past them with a big smile, you're supposed to be going, expressing physically that this is a difficult thing. If you got a big smile on your face and you're going up a huge hill, this is a gigantic genetic statement. We have to start receiving. Genetics is a language. We must start receiving this genetic communication. It's beautiful. It's life or death for you guys. We have to start receiving. What people's words are kind of don't mean shit. I think we could agree on this. If initially your thought is, hey, screw you, think on it a little bit more. That right hemisphere is saying, hey, this guy wants to fight with you. Think on it a little bit more. What the words that are coming out of people's mouths have stopped meaning anything. They'll just say anything. You're hearing the same thing over and over. As a boss, every employee has used every excuse. Their last excuse is, I shit myself. And when it comes to them, they're like, oh God, this is magic. Nobody's going to call me on this one. Their grandma's already died 5 times. Their grandpa already died 5 times. There's nothing left. And they finally go, click, I shit my pants. Hey, I'm sorry I'm late. I shit my pants. I'm going to go home. I'm going to get swapped out. And you're just looking at this. You've seen this play out 100 times, 200 times. And now they're going to use this one. This is going to be the go-to for a little while until they've used it up. Nobody's saying anything new. We've all got the exact same genetic Rolodex up there, the same Ask Jeeves, and it's 1 billion years old. So you're going to see this shit play out over and over and over. We're jogging through a group of dead people, and they're becoming angry. Initially you're going, this doesn't have anything to do with you. This doesn't have anything to do with you. Why would this bother you? And then at some point, if you're good at your job, you're going to go, hey, this isn't random anymore. I'm in the movie Inception. These people are set to get themselves in the ground. Building health equity literally offends them. You're doing something else. You're evidencing something else. You're genetically communicating the exact opposite thing. You're enjoying building health equity. This is offensive. These little lies that are being told to you by that right hemisphere are sounding like they're your ideas. Me as a person, man, I used to like to exercise too, man. That's what I was about, but, then there was the injury, there was the divorce, there was the thing. Now, I'm more of the relaxed guy, I'm more the chill guy now. I used to be all about it. I go out there and get the... And now I'm the chill guy. I'm the cool one. I'm the cool one because I don't do that. Inception. This thing is saying, hey, dude, this is who you are as a person, This is our human growth. We were at that point. And now we're at this new point, and this is a cooler time. Wah, wah, wah. Super cool. It takes a year of eating like an American to do damage you cannot undo metabolically and to your physical form, guys. You know, something inside of you is saying, hey man, I'm the chill one now. So I eat these goddamn carbohydrates and preservatives. It only takes a couple years, guys, to grab something you can't put back. That diabetes did not come from mom plus dad. You did that shit. You cannot eat carbohydrates 3 times a day. It doesn't matter if you're sneaking in a little bit of protein. Doesn't matter if your carbohydrates say, now high in protein. Pop-Tarts have motherfucking protein in them. Okay. Yeah, that's no longer a fucking carbohydrate. Blast your metabolic system. That'll give you diabetes in a short period of time. At all! You guys put some fucking bone powder in there or some shit like that. Excuse me. You see how we're doing on time, guys? Ooh, I've got so little time today. Nice. We killed it, guys. That little voice doesn't have to do much. You know, when you made that first decision, hey, this is kind of my identity. That thing whispered it in there. And then it let you take that. It's not having to do any work now. I'm not saying, and so focus real hard and fight it and decide to go work out. That's not going to work. The goal of this other guy, if you make him put in work, he's just going to wake up and make some new idea, or make a cancer, or make some other metabolic thing. Your body, your immune system is attacking your body. Oh no, mom's DNA plus dad's DNA must have. No. You've caused your body to become its own enemy because you're not measuring the amount of species-specific energies where you're spending time. Trying to make small changes by just squeezing real hard like you're pooping and say, hey, now I'm going to be a straight person and not a gay person anymore. I'm going to be a successful person now. I'm going to be a person that works out because I squeezed real hard and now I've done it now. I've changed my mind now. That shit doesn't work. Psychology is shit. It's a fucking brainwashing. None of this has anything to do with it. If you do not change the prime directive, that can only be achieved by re-entering your human life cycle and living with sufficient species-specific energies for the number of, if there's 5 people in your house, you're going to need 5 adult pigs where you fucking live. If you're grazing chickens instead, you need weight, people. You need weight. You need the equivalent of 5 adult pigs or 5 adult goats where you live. That's sufficient species-specific energy. You need weight in fruit. You don't need a cute little tiny apple tree and look at these little tiny apples. Now I'm all better. Nope. You need weight. Your body is looking for, measuring for sufficient species-specific energies for the number of humans present of every species. The same system is in every other species. When we build on lemons, property, land where lemons live, we reduce the number of lemons, and now the local populace of wolves is not going to breed this year. That's going to be beneficial to the species. They're not going to make a bunch of babies and then they just die off of starvation. They're going to choose not to. But of course, we haven't had a lemon survey by the wolves. We haven't had a wolf town meeting. This system is automated. in all species, including yours. We're not something special from the other animals. We all evolved from one thing over millions of years, and we're all still part of everybody else. You're thinking your communication is amazing. Every single animal has communication. The only difference is the language. You're looking at Spanish people going, look at these morons. They can't even learn English. English is the dumbest, rudest language on the face of the planet. It's easy to learn. It's a lot easier to learn than Spanish. That guy's a lot smarter than you are. You'd be better off to learn his language that acknowledges each other. We have a loneliness epidemic, and we have a language that doesn't say, hey, you're a dude, you're a middle-aged dude, you're a respectable dude, and we use this in language every single time we interact. We don't say, give me that thing. You say, hey, how are you doing today? No, really, tell me how you're doing today. And then we use descriptors. And if this person isn't what we say, if we walk in and say, Doña, respected member of the, married member of the, respected head of the household, and she says, hey, I'm not a Doña yet. And you go, hey, I'm sorry. What are you? It's this acknowledgement. That's not the root of our problems, but this language that you're thinking is, this is what makes me human. Bears have a language. Kangaroos have a fucking language. Because you can't speak that other language doesn't mean anything. This isn't that important, guys. We have to stop making this huge distinction. The church said we were made by God, in God's image, and now we have this idea that we can just shit on the earth and that we do not evolve by the same rules as the rest of these amazing animals on this planet. It's all shit, guys. It's all shit. That's why we study rats. That's why we study mice. Our DNA is the exact same fucking thing from the exact same fucking source. Whatever they do, we're going to react the exact same way. Which is why we can use the Universe 25 experiments on ourselves. Guys, that's my time for today. You guys are super cool motherfuckers, and I'm going to do this again real soon.